Okay, here we go for round 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever it is. This is part of my dispelling the myth of the mag bar series, or whatever you want to call it. This is magnesium shavings that were soaked in water and allowed to somewhat dry off. The last video I showed you, I held the lighter to it for at least 10 seconds and it would not ignite when it was wet, or damp I should say. It wasn't soaking wet, it was damp. But I put some dry birch bark on here and I've let it sit for another probably 15 minutes now to give my hands a break from scraping that magnesium. And we'll see if I can get it to ignite using the birch bark. Oh, you bitch. To be honest with you, my hands are too sore now from scraping all that magnesium. I can't get a good strike with the ferro rod now. And I'm not even using the cheapo ferro rod that it came with, which is very small diameter and very hard to get a spark with. There it goes. The birch bark is burning. Let's see if it'll ignite. I guess you got to strike these about 1,000 times and eventually they'll start working for you. Well, the birch bark is burning away. I mean, I could easily light my blue jean material using the birch bark alone. Which makes me wonder why I need a mag bar. Because I could dry the birch bark off with my clothes if I needed to. There, the birch bark ignited the blue jean material just the same as the dry magnesium shavings did. And I actually had an easier time lighting the birch bark and preparing it than I did the mag shavings. So to me, birch bark is like a lot better than magnesium. But as you can see, even though that birch bark burned for quite a bit, it still didn't light these mag shavings. Maybe they're dry enough now that they'll ignite, but they will not light when they're wet. I guess I challenge everybody to prove me wrong on that, but in doing so, somebody could easily take a thing of what they say is water and it could just be white gas and pour on the magnesium shavings and ignite it. But I think I've pretty much proven that the mag shavings will not ignite when they're wet. The video proves it. That was water, regular water out of the faucet. It was water I just took a drink of before I poured it on the mag bar. There's the mag bar. Cochlan's, C-O-H-L-A-N''S, made in the USA. Let's see if it'll ignite now. There it goes. Poof, it's out. Done. I don't think I'd had the time to stick anything on there to light it. It's all gone, every bit of it. Poof. I think that was about a half a second of flame. If you can get something lit with a half a second of flame, you're a better man than me. But I think I'm done with that. One thing that's nice, at least my ferro rod is finally working. I've tried this thing with every material known to man. I even tried it a bunch of times when I first got this striker to see if maybe I was just using a bad striker or something, and it wouldn't work, but it's pretty much working every time now. I don't know. Might be worth keeping around. I won't be relying on it though. I think it's easier just to use birch bark or something. I'm not really sure what the application of the mag bar is, but every time I've tried to use it, I've well, actually this was the first time I had any success with it whatsoever, and I always end up with very sore hands, and I usually end up not making fire. But that's that. I guess if you have damp magnesium shavings and you hold a lighter to them for 10 to 15 seconds to dry them off, and then you let them sit for 15 to 20 minutes to dry off some more, and then you pile a bunch of birch bark shavings on top of the mag shavings and ignite the birch bark shavings burning will help dry out the mag shavings some more, and then when those birch bark shavings are done and you've already made your fire, then you can go ahead and strike the magnesium shavings and get them to ignite because they're dry again. But they don't burn long enough for you to get a fire going. At least in my opinion. I figured I'd just post this up and see what people think of it. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be such an asshole about it if I saw somebody prove to me in person that it worked. But I haven't seen that yet. Magnesium shavings, when they are wet, will not ignite with any source, even a lighter. Whew, well, that was a change of pace there. Hey, I just wanted to mention about the mag bar. I don't mean to criticize anybody if they actually can get the mag bar shavings to ignite when they're soaked with water. I just don't believe it's true myself. So if you're one of the lucky few, I apologize.